position, we're gonna have in the blue Zerg Sziky, repping his StarCast clan. And his ally is gonna be none other than Bonyth, Protoss blue, in the top right position. Here at the bottom here, bottom right position in the green is going to be KenZy. So he is random, and he rolled Zerg this time. And his ally, TT1, red, Protoss, bottom left.
I think, and I hope we'll... No, never mind. Do you think we'll just see 3 gates, circling dragoons there, just mass ground, or do you think we're going to see some fast meters?
I think because it's top versus bottom, it's going to favor more layer play, muta play versus mass play. But we'll see. I mean, this map is a big map. This is Nixios, which plays like Gaia. But we're seeing a 12 here from KenZy. Could be a 12 hatch from KenZy. Looks to be a 12 hatch from KenZy.
Yeah, he realized that it's a big map, and he's trying to get away with a little bit greedy build.
Yeah.
Also, he will be easily support his hatchery with the sunken behind there.
Yeah, it looks like a 12 pool from Sziky and a 1 gate from Bonyth. So Bonyth going for the early gas, TT1 going with the standard 2 gate. So interesting kind of development here on the part of the Protosses, where TT1 is going more of the conventional 2 gate route, making those zealots, and Bonyth going for the 1 gate earlier gas. And then even with the Zergs, KenZy going for the early 12 hatch ramp, more economic kind of style. And Sziky kind of in between, right? Like Sziky, I think that's a 12 pool, so kind of in between.
Yeah,
not really early pool, not really an early layer either.
I saw KenZy, he was listed as random, but do you think he picked Zerg, and maybe that's why Bonyth went 1 gate, because they didn't really know that KenZy was Zerg?
No, I think KenZy, very much like you, Mad, is a purist when it comes to going random. I can't imagine him actually race picking here, but I do know that Bonyth does like to play 1 gate against random, because it can play well against pretty much all the races.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of options to like switch, but
yeah.
It looks like it's going to be Salads and Dragoons. And here comes the famous. How many drones do we really get?
Yeah, KenZy.
1.
Oh.
He gets 1.
Perfectly positioned. Oh my goodness. This must be so annoying.
Yeah, must be fun to live in Bonyth's world. Gets a
oh
second
my god,
one.
another drone!
What can see?
No way he gets a 3rd drone.
There's a sunken, and it's with the 8th.
No way.
Oh.
No, KenZy's killing his own gas!
You know how stressful it can be to have a Bonyth out in your face. So
trust me. Trust me, I know. I know. I've done worse. I've actually completed killing something.
It's better just. Oh, what?
Oh, TT1 getting a few drones himself. 1 kill there on the Zealot. Oh, 2nd drone going down. Nice moves there from TT1. They see everything, the timing of the layer, the number of drones.
I think also here we have like the same scenery as Babo and Terror, because Babo is an experienced 2 vs 2 player, and Bonyth is an experienced 2 vs 2 player. And Sziky has been playing 2 vs 2 with Bonyth for a long time, but you can see he doesn't really do the traditional 2 vs 2 builds. But as long as Sziky gets mutas out on the map, it's GG.
Yeah. They've Sziky and Bonyth, they play together in the BroodWar clan league, as obviously you and I know, but they do play together a lot. So it's not like they're completely like not in sync with each other. They play a lot together in those clan leagues and in these types of tournaments. But yeah, I think Sziky, his strength is his control, So often when his builds are not as standard as you would say, a lot of it is made up with his ability to control well with his units. So we're going to see heavy mass here from KenZy going for the 3 hatch. He's electing to make his 3rd hatch at his Expo. Bonyth here is making goons and zealots, getting the Citadel. And TT1 is going for the Corsair, which is going to be combative to Zzzy's Muta. So kind of like a Corsair versus Muta with Ling versus Goon Zealot kind of situation here. I like this spot for the red team. Now KenZy did get supply blocked early and he took damage, but it's still a 12 hatch open. So of all the opens, you can sort of get out of it and stabilize much more so with 12 hatch.
Yeah, I think Bonyth he is switching to DTs, and you can see KenZy is floating some overlords over to TT1. But there's a small window here because if they let KenZy get his expansion up, of course that's favor him. But Sziky he will have Muta soon, but he didn't mind gas that much. He only had 1 drone on gas, so I don't think how many Mutas he has out on the map yet.
Right,
like
and
2.
Yeah, that's a good point. TT1 is also investing in Zealot leg speed. He just punched that right now, so it's not a fully committed Corsair kind of build, but it is a 1 gate and it is a +1, so it is kind of half committed or more than half committed to air, and certainly with the Zealot leg speed commitment there too.
Yeah, and you just need 5 or 6 Corsairs with +1. That equals like 7 Corsairs, I think, when you have the +1. And Sziky will have a hard time contending that with only 1 gas.
Yeah, so the blue team launching an attack here, forcing KenZy to, instead of denying Bonyth's second base, forcing him to come back. There's a sunken here though.
He's hitting the spore.
Oh, he's hitting the spore, but there's Corsairs and there's Overlord. Wow.
That's a great surround, and the Sunken is doing so much damage on the Dragoons.
TT1 being careful with this Corsair. DTs are out though. Ooh, first DT goes down.
I think the blue team helped really well there, even though there was a surround. Isn't this? I think also this is like a rerun from the last season's final, where I think TT1 and KenZy actually beat Sziky and Bonyth in the first years and knocked them down in the lower bracket, but then then they had to face them off again in the finals because So I think it was like back-to-back best of 5, and it's not easy to beat Sziky and Bonyth 2 times best of 5 if you're lucky enough to do it once.
Yeah, these teams definitely have a history between each other. They played each other in the finals in the last season. But dude, did you just see that wall from Bonyth, where literally he only had 2 Dark Templars to fend off against all that, and then he planted those gateways, and then oh my god, now TT1 here seizing air control, denying. KenZy's going to deny the second base from Sziky, but Bonyth managing to keep his Nexus and mine from that second base quicker than TT1 is certainly going to be sort of the X factor here. Now switching into goons here. Oh, this is a lot of ground units. Oh, the ramp is breached. Zealots are up. Corsair's going to trade here.
And this is also one of KenZy's strengths. Like he as a zzzeropl, he likes to make mass units.
Yeah.
And when you think he's still stuck on some Sturglings, he comes out with 12 Mutas, but you can see he's only making Sturglings. He doesn't mind gas at all.
Right. Right, now there are 2 TTs there, so those links will get cleaned up.
Yeah, and he's going to block it right now with the DT, so this attack is over. But I think they need to be careful with Bonyth. If he stabilizes too much, he's just gonna explode, because TT1, he doesn't have the gate count as Bonyth will have because of that Stargate.
Right, that's a good point. I think in this type of style, TT1's gonna really rely on KenZy to also be a big player in this game. Now, Sziky is sort of supply blocked in the situation where he can't do anything. good harassment there from KenZy picking off those drones, but these Corsairs are going to continue to kill Overlords until he gets those goons in position. Okay, Sziky cancels the Evo. Now that goons are there, he's going to go straight into making Overlords so that he can get back into this game. If you're Sziky in this spot, are you continuing to make mutas? Are you thinking about making a second base, third hatchery kind of situation? What's the play here for Sziky?
His +2 carry base is so far away, and he's so behind because of KenZy. He has the additional hatchery as well, and I think this kind of show plays, if you want to call it, Sziky's weakness, because he's experienced 1v1 player, and he's used to having 2 gas, 3 bases, 4 bases, 5 bases. So
right.
Hard for him to do anything with so little income.
Yeah, Sziky is gonna plant that third hatch though, so he does recognize that he's got the time, at least for now, until they have detection for those DTs. He does have the cover against those Corsairs, so he's gonna use that time to try to get a third hatchery up. But these links from KenZy are gonna deny this from Sziky. Very nice deny there from KenZy.
I think it's the only right move for Sziky to try to be greedy, take that hatchery and see if he can get away with it.
Yep.
But we see double force from TT1 and a lot of gateways coming. Now
yeah, Bonyth really feeling himself. He's going to try to take 3 o'clock here as well. Bonyth clearly in the lead here in the food count with 103 versus TT1's 88. But KenZy is slowly sort of becoming a player here. He's got 22 drones mining, and he's got that second base. So you got to think KenZy's going to be a player here. But TT1 will go with that sort of Zealot Archon composition, accompanied by those Corsairs against any muta threat. And KenZy here planting his Spire down with the static defense. So,
yeah. And I don't think they can't really attack into KenZy's natural either, because the units they will clump up and come in a line because of the tight ramp.
Right. Yeah, and Bonyth knows. He knows that he's got the supply lead. He knows he's the big dog in this game right now. But the question is, how is he going to engage? Yeah, this is a big army here from Bonyth. TT1 and KenZy are going to have to consolidate their forces together. KenZy could probably find the counter here. Oh, the Corsairs go down.
That's a big pickup, because now what do you do now as TT1? Do you make a Dark Archon? Because KenZy doesn't have mutas right there yet. And that's a big Bonyth ball, but hard to come in there if he has storms as well. Ah, it's Archon. But they don't know about 3 o'clock either, and that expansion goes unpunished as well. There's not a lot of vision on the map, which is crucial in 2 vs 2.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, absolutely.
Both teams are playing very blind.
Yeah, they're kind of poking at each other. They understand where they're at right now. They know Bonyth is the big dog right now on the map. But they also think right now that they're on even bases. They don't understand. They don't realize that Bonyth is on 3 base. So they might be thinking in their head, let us take a little bit more time harvesting these 4 bases, and then we can overwhelm Bonyth. But right now, Bonyth is deciding to push into this narrow ramp. Huge supply lead here for Bonyth. Thinks better of it, decides to come back. Lots of muta now for Sziky, which is going to do very well against Lings. TT1 coming from the rear. KenZy needs to force... okay, they're deciding to pull back. Oh man, this is a naked Spire.
I think they kind of underestimated Sziky and thought he might not make any more mutas, but all the Corsairs died. There's no air support in Protoss.
Okay, big fight going on in the middle of the map here. It looks like TT1's forces are starting to melt, but KenZy's forces could envelope into these Dragoons. That is only Dragoons with Archons retained for TT1. Huge engagement here. They can sandwich this army. Lots of Lings here for KenZy. TT1's army also engaging. Nothing but goons left. Speed OB is done.
Did you see he target fired the Corsair to support Sziky's mutas? So he only has one left, and it's
ooh, but that one Corsair getting...
Yeah, he realizes he's really low health. Still +1 carapace. I'm sure he would have had +2 at this time, because he had the time to make it. +1.
Right. Now, Red Force is a little bit split up here, but deciding to pick off Zzzy's. Bonyth thinking better of it, trying to go over to his ally to support him. Zzzy's muta is trying to get some value down here, but starting to get caught. Red units streaming up towards Sziky's natural. Bonyth catching these Obies in the rear here.
Yeah, like Sziky, like we said, Sziky had to try to be a little bit greedy, take that expansion. The red team realizes it and comes in and kills it.
Now that natural is going to go down. This is a large fort from Bonyth. This is a good trade here.
Yeah, it's a red stream coming behind as well, but is it Zerglings? Is it...
Not the most coordinated attack here from the red team, kind of getting pieced off with the army being split. Now the full might of Bonyth coming down now. Red team streaming back down towards the southern part of the map. Sziky seeing the timing of the third base for TT1. KenZy continuing to make Zerglings. Hive is done for KenZy, so Defiler Mound going down now. No longer making Muta.
They still doesn't know about 9 o'clock. So like you said, we had the Reavers. They think it's 2 bases versus 2 bases. But Bonyth, he's on 50 probes.
Yeah, only Bonyth would make Reavers in this spot. Reavers do quite nicely against the Protoss composition right now. Now TT1 did supplement his army with Dragoon. That's a lot of Dragoons for TT1. Probably a lot more than Bonyth anticipated. KenZy's gonna have to get involved here. They're gonna have to try to 2 vs 1 this thing. Muta's getting into position here too. Nice position here for Bonyth, but that's a lot of red here. A lot of goons here from TT1. All those wings melting on the right side. Now the left side. Reaper going down here.
I think Bonyth helped that Archon in the back intentionally because he knew the Zerglings were coming. Yeah. The Zerglings do fairly bad versus upgraded Archons.
Yeah. Masterfully done there from Bonyth, really attacking these fronts perfectly, the right to the left, and Sziky supporting those Dragoons. Really good job here from the blue team. Really close fights.
Yeah, they're really coordinated in their fights, the blue team, and I feel like the red team is slightly off on their timing. Yeah, every time they try to sandwich Bonyth, it's like half their armies are gone before they engage. And now it's 1 base versus 2 base Protoss.
Yeah, Bonyth with his 54 probe count, 120, 130 plus food count. Sziky still continuing to harass as we approach the 18-minute mark. Picks off the first Defiler.
Can you find it? It doesn't see it.
Oh.
It's a nice try to hide it under the willow. But what do you think? I think maybe KenZy wouldn't have done a lot more damage if he transitioned into Mutas as well, because he had the naturals for such a long time.
Yeah, I think Sziky picking off the Spire at the natural really impeded his ability to kind of continue to take advantage of that second gas lead. But you know, normally, yeah, against Reavers and well positioned Zealots like that, normally that's a dead third base.
So he has 9 Mutas.
Yeah, and Sziky with 9 Mutas. This is maddening when you're TT1 and you have Archons, when you know you can rip through those Mutas, but it's not normal Muta.
He had 6 or 7 Corsairs as well, remember that. And because he lost them, they gave them, like you asked the question, what would you do as Sziky here? Would you continue to make Mutas? But because he lost his Corsairs, and Bonyth's been doing such a great job keeping Sziky in the game, allowed Sziky to continue to make Mutas, and they don't have the air control anymore.
Right. What normally would have been not the best thing to do for Sziky ended up being the perfect thing to do for Sziky. So, yeah, definitely panned out to be a good decision. But I know if we go back into this game, the most critical moment for the red team, which it doesn't look like it's going in their favor right now. Yeah, GG there from KenZy and TT1. Really close game. But Mad, that decision to send their army and splitting it to kill Sziky's natural base. I think that was the critical moment where Bonyth so expertly reacted with his army to chase the army that was going to kill Sziky's natural and trap it before TT1 can consolidate both of his armies together. I think that move is what really was like the momentum swing for Sziky and Bonyth, which didn't look like it was a good spot for them at a point there too.
And also remember that they tried to attack, I think it was KenZy's base, and Bonyth lost all of his units, so he had 1 Dragoon and 2 cannons in his natural.
Right.
So,
yeah.
And then they optioned to attack Sziky's base, so Bonyth stabilized.
Exactly.
But I understand the decision because they had already hurt Sziky, so they kind of wanted to finish him off so they could play 1 versus 2 versus Bonyth.
Right. Yeah, so that's high level ZP versus ZP for you.
Okay guys, I think we are ready for the second game, and this will be TT1 and KenZy's pick, and I think it's no surprise which map is going to be JIRAIYA.
Yeah, let me guess. It's Sparkle?
I think we're going to see Sparkle.
All right, well, you called it. You called it, Mad. Yeah, so we're going to have Bonyth here spawning in the top position in blue Protoss. And his ally is going to be Sziky, Zerg, yellow in the bottom right position. So they're going to share the right side. And on the left side, KenZy rolled the dice and he got Terran this game. So that answers the question of whether or not he picked Zerg or went random last game. And his ally, TT1 Protoss, in the top left position in red. So left versus right, TP versus ZP on Sparkle.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. This, like you mentioned earlier, TT1 is a Sparkle expert, so he knows right out from the get-go what his plan is. How will he sync up with KenZy? Will they be trying to do like a Corsair Goliath build, like we saw Babo and Terror tried, even though they were Terran and Zerg, but it's kind of the similar unit composition?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played too much PT on this map, but I would think my mentality would be I want to play this slow and play kind of like turtle style. I think that might be most favorable for PT. But yeah, if they were to pivot from that kind of strategy and do more of like an aggressive control the pace of the game early, yeah, like a Corsair with early Goliath drop, I could see that being effective. TT1 will likely go Corsair, I think, but his gas timing here is a little bit late, so I'm not sure what this build is.
He's going to make Nexus. He's making a salad so he gets the second gas fast, but Sziky, he went 9-pool, so
right.
Not sure why he's saving up larvas for, but maybe he doesn't know it's an island map.
Yeah, it's looking to be a double Nexus, double CC long game sort of shield style versus sword style from Bonyth and Sziky, where Zeke's going for the early layer, presumably to go Muta, and Bonyth maybe going Robo. Is that like out of the realm of a possibility? I think Sziky here with his first Overlord is going to scout that at the very least it's not Zerg. Yeah, so he's going to go the Robo here, it looks like, which is the exact counter to what TT1 and KenZy's going, which is more of a macro long game kind of style. Yeah. It's going to put a lot of pressure on them to be able to defend by themselves against Shuttle and Muta.
Yeah, and especially for TT1, it's going to be extremely hard if he can't catch that early Shuttle.
Right.
If he gets a Reaver in his base, he can't hold it with only cannons.
Right.
And he won't have enough ground units to support versus Reaver or Muta, so he has to go Corsairs. But will he have enough Corsairs to control air before Sziky comes there? I don't think so.
Yeah, the whole advantage of Sparkle for Protoss when it comes to trying to seize air is the fact that Protoss can very quickly make a Stargate. But In this case, with a Nexus first for TT1, that Stargate is going to be very, very slow, which means it's going to be harder and harder for him to seize control of the air. So, so yeah, I almost wonder if...
I think TT1 kind of knows. Did you see? He made 2 gateways. It wasn't a Stargate.
2 gateways. Okay, so this is going to be a goon defensive.
So he knows there will be an earlier Reaver timing. So he's going to build up the gateway count.
Interesting, interesting. So this is super kind of long game mindset where those goons are not offensive anytime soon. It's a defensive.
Yeah. And it's making range as well. Yeah, I think they're content with taking this game to the long run. They are in no hurry of finishing this game as fast as possible.
Yep. Yeah, and I love it. I love it. I think that's the right way to play on this map when you're Protoss Terran. You don't have a Zerg with you to pair with an early thing, right? So might as well elect to take 4 base and give them the bases and try to stretch this thing out. But it's going to be tough for them to get...
Not sure about the sunken of Sziky. Maybe he made it to optimize his gas mining.
You know, I think that sunken is against the 11 gas sort of early for Goliath timing, because right now, because Bonyth is not going the Corsair, they're a little bit in the dark, but at the same time, Ziky's got the mutas out, like he's got the 9-pull layer timing too, so yeah, definitely a conservative approach, but at the same time, I can understand it for Sziky. I defend him. All right, so they're figuring out exactly what's going on here. They know exactly what's going on. The PT is taking 2 base. Oh, here's the timing here with the Reaver. Oh!
Gets the shot. I don't think TT1 has enough here.
Oh man, this timing. He's not aiming for the Reaver. He's going for the Dragoon. I mean, the Muta. Oh no. How do you defend this? This is so hard to defend.
How do you defend 1 versus 2 is the two greatest 1 versus 1 players we have in Europe?
Yeah.
Look at
it
this.
Doesn't seem fair.
Even though he did the right build, he did defensive build. The Reaver has taken barely any damage and he can't do anything.
Yeah. The thinnest margins against these guys.
And Sziky, he is just rallying mutas over, so this Reaver is doing so much work.
So much work. Those mutas tanked everything. If you're TT1, you're just like, what do I do? Like...
Even when you do the correct play, it's the wrong play.
Yeah.
Why? Look at where the drones are on the gas. 2 sunkens, okay, yeah. 3 sunkens.
Yeah, I mean, just being extra precautious. He can focus more on his mutas with 3 sunkens at home. Not entirely sure what KenZy's up to, but you got to think he's a brewing monster over there.
Yeah, look at KenZy. He's up at 42 SCVs. It's nearly more than the other 3 combined.
Yeah.
With this Reaver and this muta. TT1 down to 3 probes.
Now TT1's been fighting the mutas this entire time. From the very first muta and shuttle timing, he's been fighting the muta. So without Corsairs on the map, and with this little amount of mutas on the map, you got to think KenZy's gonna at the very least have a timing to do something, like a mass drop, sort of all in, kind of go for a home run kind of play. But the Sovolo is gonna spot it. Kind of a predictable spot here for KenZy. There are 2 Scourge in position, slightly out of position.
Yeah, but he can't do anything. There are 3 sunkens.
Could go for this second gas spot though.
And they don't have the air support here now, so KenZy, he can't keep dropping because there will be Scourge and there will be muta, so...
All right, well, he's going to keep going for this. He's going to try to ferry units into Sziky's base.
The Reaver comes now to support.
Now, TT1's not fully out of this game. He is on one probe. Oh, the Muta is going to catch the shuttle. Nope.
Where's the
nice
Reaver?
move there from KenZy.
Oh,
nice move there. Wow. Oh,
it's
no.
a counter at 2 shuttles.
Oh, no.
2 Reavers.
Perfect move there from Bonyth. Look at those rabs. Oh, man. Oh. Catastrophic damage.
Stacking his Reavers to make double damage.
Hey, those Sunkins don't look too bad now. Do they, Matt?
Obviously, Sziky is from the future, so he knew. This is like a base trade because the other Sunk is out of reach, so he can't mine, but how do you stop these Reavers?
Yeah.
Look at those slugs.
The supply depots are now. Really good counter here from Bonyth, understanding the situation.
TT1 is back in it.
Quietly coming back here is TT1. Wraith being produced here from KenZy.
Sziky is making sure that TT1 doesn't come back in the game. And KenZy, he had 42 SCVs, now it's half. I think these Goliaths are so bruised up that those 2 Dragoons can just pick them up. And there's even an observer in KenZy's base, so Bonyth knows the entire time what KenZy is doing.
Yeah.
And I don't think they know that that observer is there because he had a turret ring and he sent it in along with his shuttles.
Yeah, the blue team has full control of this game here.
But KenZy is trying to... is this the right move? It takes so long. He lost his Nexus, so it takes so much time for TT1 to come back.
Yeah.
Ah, he lost his fire. Didn't see that. Are we going to see the classic Reaver into carriers that Bonyth likes to do so much in his 1v1?
Yeah, it looks like he's gearing up the Stargates now. Yep. Yep. So as he gets the third base up, but if I'm ZP and I see KenZy sending TT1, is not even making probes.
TT1,
like
he's
checked out here.
He's reading the news. He's tabbed out.
Yeah. This is good defense here from KenZy. He's gonna be able to deal with this, I think.
But I think all his dropships are dead. No, he has 2. Again, there's so many Dragoons.
Yeah. Yeah, just a tough spot. Bonyth and Sziky recognizing that KenZy's main is not fully saturated with his army because of the Goliaths that he sent to TT1. They recognized that, they went for it, they traded against it, and now KenZy is having a tough time here defending in his main, restarting his army count, restarting his ability to deny the blue team from growing. KenZy sending his dropships back north to pick them up, presumably empty. But
blue team they are making so much damage with so little units.
Yeah. I think KenZy's gonna go for one more attack here with the Goliaths that are at TT1's base. He'll load those up, he'll try for an attack.
It's no cannons. He can hurt the Bonyth.
Right. Yeah, this concept that Bonyth and Sziky did is very sword style, nothing but offense. I very much like it. I mean, this is a good attack. TT1 is coming back.
But what do you do? Do you kill the Nexus to make one base? Yeah?
Yeah, I think you killed the Nexus.
There's 2 more Nexuses. The Protoss Nexus only costs 250 minerals, so you can make a lot of Nexuses. On the additional side, the command center for Terran costs 650.
Wait, what?
Doesn't it feel like that when you kill a Nexus? The process
yes,
kill
yes,
another-
I follow.
yeah. But if you lose your command center, you have
Yeah.
lost the game.
Yeah. All right. So
Now,
Bonyth's still in the lead food-wise. at 82.
TT1 is out of the game right now. This is a 2 versus 1 situation. And KenZy, he can't really put the brakes on either. He has to be offensive, or else the blue team will take the entire map, and Sziky will control air so much. Look how timed their attacks are. The Mutas comes in, soaks up the shots. He didn't even unload the Reavers. And now Bonyth and Sziky is up 2-0 in this best of 5 series.
Wow, crazy. Well, that was a tough one for TT1 there. Not much that he can do. Went for the right defensive build, but the execution there from Bonyth and Sziky just too much and overwhelmed them. 2 versus 1. Tough spot.
Yeah, and they weren't really caught off guard either. TT1 was doing the right moves, but I think maybe had they come, say, a minute later, he would have maybe had 4 or 5 Dragoons, and he should have been okay.
Right. The timing and execution there from Bonyth and Sziky just caught him right there. I think he only had 3 Dragoons to defend that against 5 Mutas, a Reaver, and a Zealot. Yeah, that's a tough spot. He even had the insurance cannon in his mineral line, give him some cover, but it just very quickly, once that first Reaver Scarab landed, it was like mathematically, my brain was like, how is this gonna work?
And I think Sparkle were their map to lose as well, because they picked that map and they feel confident in that map. So what map will we be seeing next, now that you're down 2-0 and you have to win? What will we see? Do you think we will see some cheese play? Perhaps try to kill Sziky? Maybe he's the most vulnerable of them, because killing Bonyth is, people have been trying for years. So
Yeah, I think it's a tall order either way to kill either of them, but yeah, we'll see how they kind of adjust here. I'm thinking they just want to get back to fighting spirit, see what they roll, and then just take it from there, right? They're the only PR team. They're the only PR team, and when you have a random on your team, on your squad, it adds a level of variance. So no, I don't think they're going to stray from anything. I don't think they're looking to go all in. Each of these games have been very, very close, right? Like they did the right build last game. They just didn't get it on execution. And game 1, they were right there. They were ahead at one point, and then it kind of fell. But it just goes to show at these high level, it's a very slim margin of error. So we'll see. All right, so it looks like we're ready for game number 3. Let's get into it. All right, spawning in the top right position in the blue is going to be our Zerg player Sziky. And his ally, cross map. Map is Fighting Spirit, Protoss, yellow, Bonyth. KenZy rolled the dice and he got Zerg, top left position, blue. And his ally, TT1, red, Protoss, bottom right. Cross map, Fighting Spirit, ZP versus ZP, mirror situation. MadiNho, what do you think?
I think we'll see maybe a similar game as the first game when we had PC.
Yep.
Where I think maybe Sziky and Bonyth will be the aggressive team, while KenZy, and as I say that, KenZy is doing a 9 pull. And Sziky is doing a 9 pull.
All right, we're gonna get a double 9 pull here.
Why do I even have opinions? They just come up wrong anyway.
Well, looks like Bonyth is going to be scouting north since his ally is scouting south. So they're going to, at the very least, know when TT1 goes north. Or
Do
the
you think
Overlord is going to stay.
Yeah. It looks like Bonyth is going to open 2-gate this time, so because of the 9 pool, and yeah, I think they will put down the early aggression.
Huh.
Or not. I'm just gonna stop speaking.
Alright, the patented Bonyth harassment from the Bonyth probe coming down to KenZy over here. KenZy doing a good job throwing it off, making the lings as soon as the pool comes down. Getting up to 100 gas to punch that ling speed. Presumably both Zergs will stick with mass. KenZy looks like he's definitely sticking with mass.
I think that's the correct play as well, because you don't really need fast mutas in this matchup. It's not the mutas that wins you the game, it's the map control, and if you're able to get out of the map and contain one of the other Zergs in his base, you're definitely in the lead. So I think
Interesting.
I think TT1 and KenZy will try to force the Sziky back. Oh.
We got a ling engagement here. KenZy actually gets the better of it.
How are you doing, KenZy? It's this Halot. He has to form. It's 3 versus 2, so I was like, why are you pulling back?
Right.
But they don't know it's 1 gate from Bonyth, so that's why KenZy is making a sunken as well. He doesn't really need that sunken because he has a lot more units than them.
Yeah, that's a really good thing to point out. He does cancel it. Very nice cancel from KenZy.
I'm just gonna be quiet.
Well, he must have heard you, but definitely on the same wavelength. Not surprisingly, both of you guys, season 2 versus 2 players. But TT1 managing to squeak in a Zeolite here. Already picked off 1 probe. Second probe. Trap.
It traps the Zealot.
That would have been crazy if he trapped the Zeolot as well. Really good harassment here. More Zealots flooding in from TT1, recognizing that he has an opportunity here to further harass.
KenZy he's fighting Sziky, so Sziky can't come and support him. But now somehow Bonyth has more Zealots from 1 gate than TT1 has from 2.
Yeah, you got to think if Bonyth stabilizes here with no further damage, this is gonna look good for them. Bonyth and Sziky, they both went tech fast, so TT1 and KenZy's coming here too with lings from the back end.
And now would be a good time to make that sunken, and then you can just finish off Bonyth. And I think this is what we were talking about before. I think they will focus and try to hurt one of the players so much and take it down. I think this was a bad decision for Bonyth going for that one gate, because they knew fairly early that they were Protestant Zerg.
Right. Well, Sziky trying to do as much damage over here too. Bonyth hanging on. Great probe micro here. KenZy needs to focus this attack.
Yeah, this is what Bonyth does best. And KenZy is down to 4 drones, so Sziky is really hurt. But I think like 6 drones is all you need to continue to make Zerglings from 2 hatcheries.
Yep. Yeah, if you're the red team, you're thinking full tilt everything to Bonyth right now. This is the window of opportunity, and that gateway is not powered. Sziky has lings in Bonyth's base, but TT1 continuing to streamline units, doing a really good job of picking off probes left and right. KenZy here also accompanying those Zealot shield battery going to work here for the 2 Zealots that remain for Bonyth, while he's trying to get more production from that single gateway.
But
more units flooding in.
They're losing so much units versus so little. They have the superior number, but the blue team is doing such a great job picking off Self here and some links here and there. So the red team needs to be cautious and not wasting so much units, but it seems like they found the perfect angle right now. They have so much. TT1 he is on 3 gates as well, and 3 gates versus 1 isn't ideal for the blue team.
Wow, great execution there from the red team. TT1 breaking off a couple of Zealots to go harass the probe line, forcing Bonyth to decide which side to fight on. Now this is just too much. I think you're right. I think Bonyth's decision to go for the 1 gate quicker tech with an ally who's going layer as well, probably not the best idea against double mass.
Yeah, and KenZy realized he just needs to make Zerglings. He doesn't need additional drones. It's just to, and I think this might be that game that Sziky and Bonyth weren't fully synced up. They didn't really seem that they knew what they were doing. They were doing 2 different things.
Yep. yeah, you can very much tell. There was a little bit of miscommunication here, which TT1 and KenZy seemingly have done it. GG there.
Yeah, that was a fast game, and that's exactly what TT1 and KenZy needed to get back in this series. And now maybe Bonyth and Sziky is a little bit shaken up as well, because they're in a 2-1 lead. Of course, you need one more game to win, and that puts thoughts in your mind. Of course, maybe you're a little bit nervous and losing. Like, would you say that they lost in a silly way that maybe can do something to you as well?
Yeah, absolutely. There is a psychological effect here for sure. If I'm TT1 and KenZy after winning like that, I'm definitely feeling more confident and knowing that you can win these games straight up. There's no need for cheesing. So yeah, definitely feeling good if I'm TT1 and KenZy here and looking to get into this game with the same level of focus. All right, looks like we're ready. Let's get into game 4 here, where Sziky and Bonyth are leading series 2-1. All right, map is Neo Luna. Spawning top left is our Protoss player Bonyth in orange, and his ally Sziky, Zerg yellow, spawning bottom left. All right, KenZy. Roll the dice. You got Zerg. And his ally TT1, Protoss. Another ZP. Left versus right on Luna. Mad.
Is this another remake of Luna? Because there's Luna 3.0 or something, and then you have the mineral patches on the bottom. And yeah, this is a new remake, so I don't think I've actually seen this type, but I do like the new remake because you have the third gas possible on the third base location. On the old Luna, you didn't have it, so it's going to be more interesting.
Yeah, I like the old Luna because of that factor. Like, it's limited on the number of gas bases, and as a result, like, especially ZT versus ZP, Protoss can't get 3 base or 3 gas. So in that regard, I like that. But
here's KenZy is trying to use that he was random. They don't know that he's Zerg, so he's trying to play greedy. But Sziky opened 9 pool, and this time we see 2 gates from Bonyth.
Yeah, and Ziki's right next to him too. So distance-wise, that's going to be the shortest distance.
And that hatchery is a little bit off as well. I don't think he can make a sunken to support it on the bottom. It's a little bit far away.
Yeah, that's a.
I think KenZy is in trouble.
I'll have to agree with that. I think at the very least that pool is vulnerable to this timing. That pool is just hitting the halfway mark, and Lings are now entering or exiting the ramp.
I think this is the correct play from Sziky. He should just go 9 pool every single game as well. Especially in this matchup, he doesn't need Mutas to win. They just need to control the map and get make Bonyth big.
Yeah. Now Bonyth is going to be coming from cross map. TT1 is also coming from the north part of the map. Sziky here going to go for the hatchery, forcing KenZy to send some drones.
That sunken is so late. And it's not. Oh, they crap it.
Oh.
If they were off sync the last game, this time you can see how synced up that attack was, because that probe was intentional.
Right.
See, the probe does so much damage, a lot more than most people believe. When you have a probe that does 5 damage every single time. But that's a dead hatchery. For TT1, he's trying to do some play over with Bonyth, but Bonyth realizes he doesn't need to send all his zealots to the Zerg, but TT1 gets the punches up.
All right, well, TT1's gonna have the numbers here now, at least for now. He's gonna try to power down that pylon. Bonyth already proactively building a second one. Those Zealots not gonna come out just yet. TT1's gonna have a window here. Sziky sending his Zerglings up.
Yeah, Sziky needs to help him, but I don't...
Ooh, he's gonna pick off the bottom one.
That's a great play from TT1, and now KenZy is free as well, so he can come up and support. And again, we see TT1 is 3 gates. So if they can sync up now, and with the Zerglings and the Zealots, they have a window.
I think KenZy is actually electing to go layer off of 1 hatch since he lost his 2nd hatch, which I don't completely hate. Oh, no, never mind. He's gonna go 2 hatch. Okay.
But I don't really like the layer play yet from Sziky. I think it's too fast.
Yeah, agree with that. Yep.
But that sunken is going to... They can't break this. 2 million.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and Ling speed is done for Sziky, so those Lings that are coming from Bonyth are now in position here.
Yeah, but they are kind of all in. Bonyth, he's transitioning into Dragoons, and he would just sit on his ramp, making salads.
Yeah, it's so hard to kill.
TT1 is he is all in because he stopped making probes. He's 15 probes and 3 gates.
No gas.
No gas.
Right.
So I think maybe the red team's window were when TT1 had salads in Bonyth's base, but they couldn't send more. And eventually the units got cleaned up.
Right.
And look at how many salads Bonyth have. He had like 8 salads on his ramp, so you're never breaking that.
Yeah, Sziky recognizing that Bonyth can't die here, so he's making the 2nd sunken here. Delaying his Spire here, not rushing the Spire. He knows he needs to survive.
Yeah, now Sziky also has the magic number of drones. He has 9 on the patches and 3 on the gas, so... And KenZy is just making Zerglings. And Bonyth is having... he's making DTs.
Oh, I love the DTs.
And soon we will have mutants as well, so I think as soon as we heard the first DT slice, we will see the GG.
Yeah, yeah, they're very much all in. KenZy's not even thinking about punching a layer. He's not even thinking about adding a 3rd hatch. I think they're very much all in, kind of baiting for them to come out, but there's no reason for them to come out. They're going DT. They're going Muta. So.
Yeah, they realize what good position they are in, so they don't have to take any risks. So you can see Bonyth even being pretty cautious and making a cannon on his ramp.
Yeah, KenZy really devoted to making Lings here.
KenZy also has a healthy bank, so he could try to take a sneaky expansion or put on a 3rd hatchery.
Or even a layer playing off of 1 base and just get that speed OV. But
6 drones.
Yeah.
Up to 10 now, so. And now, oh.
Uh-oh.
Will he see it? That's 20 Lings.
Oh man, they melt so fast.
Ah, here comes more. Feed. Prada's feeding frenzy.
Yeah.
But that's not enough Zerglings as well to kill Bonyth's ground army.
Yeah, definitely not. Feels like TT1 and KenZy less on the same wavelength in this game. Because KenZy did have an opportunity to drone up there, but he kept making Lings.
And you see Bonyth even making 2 additional DTs as to defend his base, and he has two more at the TT1.
Yeah, this is a very tough spot here for the red team.
Yeah, where do you go from this? Do you wait? How long do you wait for Speed Overlord?
Right, yeah. I mean, I'm going to rely on the Corsairs beating the Muta, and I'm going to have to rely on OV speed to deal with these DTs, and hopefully by then we'll have a lot of Zerglings and Zealots with leg speed to do something, but not much that they can do. I mean, layer just started, Mutas are already out. Corsairs are, you know, gathering, but
yeah, but this, I think TT1 needs to wait. This is, I don't think its +1 is finished yet either. So.
yeah. Sziky. Oh, picked off the one Corsair. Still not enough here. Oh man,
Great
this is
micro from
tough.
TT1.
Oh,
Also great from Sziky. Look how damage those are. Although
and now,
that 4 Corsairs versus 6 Mutas, and no Mutas died.
yeah, like now Sziky can just go home and relax. Don't go that way, but yeah, like 6 versus 4 and you lost nothing, just bruised up mutas. Just go home, have a beer, just relax, wait for your friends.
Yeah. Wait for KenZy to wake up.
Oh man, tough spot here, but I do think the red team will have a timing when the Corsairs can win air and when the OV speed will be done. It just won't be the best timing, but they should have a timing. KenZy is trying to get a Spire up as well for himself.
Just look,
But
look how much damage those DTs. Even though they don't kill anything, you can hold the ramp. You're denying the expansion of TT1. So
yeah.
Bonyth, he's making another expansion behind this, and his gateways is just exploding.
Yeah.
And this is what you get if you give Bonyth your finger. He takes the whole hand.
Yep.
It's like trying to, yeah. It's like trying to feed a shark. You know, it's like you don't give him tuna. He will have the whole tuna.
Exactly. I really like that one. Oh man, this is a crazy attack. No way.
I think he can just sack the mutas. He kills now. TT1 doesn't have any units, and this is so.
Wow, and the DTs at KenZy. Oh, masterful.
Yeah, but now he has speed overload.
Yeah.
So KenZy breaks out, but what can you do with 40 Zerglings against this army? Oh, he's attacking Bonyth. He's right. +1. But I think Bonyth even has enough to hold this. Zerglings die so fast when you don't have Carapace and Adrenaline. But the forces the Zergling back. But I don't think TT1 is dead.
Yeah.
But maybe KenZy and TT1 will get their revenge from the Lord.